Hello, successionaires, and welcome to the TV and conference call, national TV and conference call talk show, The Road to Success. I'm your host, Professor William Murray. And as always, the God in me greets and blesses the God in you. I want to thank everyone that's been supporting me off and on for these 12 years. I've been on the air doing my show, The Road to Success. It's because of you that I'm still here. It's because of you that I am still here. Because you helped out tremendously. Like I always tell you, if you learn something, teach us. If you know something, tell us. This evening's show is a continuation of my last show. You know, my last show that I did the other day, was titled Building a Backyard Garden. Well, this week's is just Building a Backyard Garden 2. I'm going to add on because y'all just don't know how much material I've gotten and how much I've learned over the last few weeks where I've been reading everything about gardening. I mean, I knew a lot of it because I've been, I'm a country boy. You don't forget, it comes back to you. But I remember we used to grow a garden in country West Virginia. The things we used to do. And then when I decided to grow one in my backyard 3 years ago, this will be my third year. Yes, my third year. I'm getting better and better every year. This is my third or fourth year. I'm going to take time and count it, y'all. And I'm getting better and better because last year's garden, whoa, the take and the vegetables I grew last year was fantastic. I mean, it was truly, truly fantastic. And this year, because I've learned so much, I've learned so much. It's kind of scary because I know how it's going to be. My soil is very, very rich. I've already planted a few things, but because it's not planting season yet, I still got a lot. I still got 3/4 of my garden to plant. Like I said, I've already planted my kale and my collards. I've already planted my iceberg lettuce and my romaine lettuce. I've already planted my cabbage. So a lot of things you can't plant into season, and we're gonna get into that. So, like I said, tonight's show is planting let's just say planting a garden, part 2. Because it don't have to be backyard. It can be on your balcony. It can be in buckets. It can be in pots. But me, I've got my like I said, my garden is 7 by 24. So I got a nice size garden. It's not that big, but it's not that small either. And it's just out there just waiting on me to put stuff in. So I'm waiting on the final frost so I can start planting everything else. I love doing this. I truly, truly do. I love doing this. This is one of my second time doing the show on gardening. And it's one of my favorites so far. One of my favorites. If you didn't get it and hear last week's show, go to www.youtube.com/M YouTube.com/Mr. W. Murray. And it's there, and listen to it, and then listen to what I'm going to additional what I'm going to give you this evening. I had a lot of replies and emails and text messages after the show the other day, and I was impressed. I mean, I'm glad people are listening. So I'm gonna go ahead and kick off. And start. And you're just going to have to follow along. Now, I'm telling you right now, get pencil or pen and paper or your tablet. This is going to be kind of interesting this evening. I'm going to give you an addition. And see, I can't give you, I've got so much material. I can speak for 4 or 5 hours to give you everything that I have and all that I've learned. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to give you what I think is basically that's going to help you right now. You don't have to, it's for beginners, or you don't have to be a beginner, just someone that wants to learn more about the garden and how to get the best out of it. Well, some things I learned tripped me out. And I was using right what you have right around the house. The fertilizer, your soil, and to keep the bugs away. Let me do this. I got an article here that I read, y'all. That I'm not gonna give you the whole article. It's much too long. I'm gonna give you the basics out of the article. It starts, if you have a newfound interest in gardening, you're not alone. Anyone can grow vegetables, whether it's in a big backyard or a tiny window box. The best time to start planting an edible harvest is in the early spring. So use these pro tips to set yourself up for success. Pick the right spot. First step to starting a garden is figuring out where to put it. You want a spot that's sunny, so we always suggest picking the southern facing side of their property. If you can get 8 to 12 hours of light, that's where most plants will do their best. Start with under 50 square feet. It's not a lot of work, y'all, but that's a nice size garden, 50 square feet. At least once every 3 years, if not once a year, you should be doing a soil test. That's to make sure your soil is rich enough. But I'm going to tell you how to get stuff to help you enrich your soil. The soil needs to be fed. People get the idea that they're going to be natural and never use fertilizer or manure or anything. They'll end up tapping out the nutrition of the soil, and then nothing will grow. You always need to think of your soil as the crop itself. You have to keep feeding it because it's alive. And that's facts. I go out there and talk to mine, talk to my plants, talk to my dirt, turn it over, rake it, let it know that I know it's there, and just keep it rich. Keep it moving. Knowing your zone can keep you from planting too early. A common mistake that often results in plants getting zapped by a late frost. See, that's the reason I haven't got my other stuff planted yet, because I'm waiting on the last frost, which should be within the next couple of weeks or so. So I'm looking at around the 1st of May, within after the first week of May, to plant my other crops. Knowing your zone can keep you from planting too early. For the first time since 2012, the USDA made updates for this growing season that moved about half the country into a new zone. Easy to grow varieties at first. I recommend summer squash or zucchini, bush beans, which I did fantastic with last year, cucumbers, I did fantastic with last year, lettuce, and cherry tomatoes or regular tomatoes. It is really hard to fail with a cherry tomato. Well, see, I didn't plant cherry tomatoes last year, but I'm sure going to plant them this year. Because my regular tomatoes were, God, they were so sweet. I mean, I'm talking about, once I ate one of my tomatoes, it was hard eating the store-bought tomato. Much difference as night and day. Hot peppers are great starter plants. Everyone should be growing garlic. I don't think that there's anything easier. You pull off a clove, stick it in the ground in the fall, mulch it, and wait for the next summer harvest. You don't have to do anything else. Just set it and forget it. A vegetable garden doesn't have to be limited. Radishes are easy to grow. I'm going to find out this year, because this year I'm going to plant radishes. You got to have the right attitude. There's no doubt about it. You got to have the right attitude, because one thing, you better have patience and be willing to work. I mean, it's not hard, because I didn't have to do a lot of work on my garden last year. I had no weeds, and I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to show you why. To start, you don't have to spend a lot of money, and you don't need a lot of things. If you want to be a gardener, wherever you are, you just have to start gardening. That's fact. I put off too long to put me a garden out there, and I'm so glad when I built my box and started my garden. Oh, ain't no way you could have told me I'd be as happy and enjoy as much as I did. 'Cause every morning I was out there watering my garden. Every morning I was watering. You can't water too much, because you'll wet and rot your root. So you don't want to drown out your garden. You want to water. There's a difference between watering and drowning. Planting vegetables at the right time is crucial for a successful harvest. Now, I'm going to give you things that you can grow and how you tend to your garden. Now, I can't give you all of this, y'all. It's much too much stuff. So I'm not going to cover everything I have here, but it would take me 2 or 3 hours to cover all of this. So I'm going to give you the basics. 6 tips for growing a plentiful cucumber crop. Cucumber plants come in 2 different varieties, a bush plant and a vining plant. Well, I had a vining plant last year, and this year I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to have me and I had cucumbers. My wife said more cucumbers she could eat. In order for your plants to grow up and over a trellis, you need to choose a variety that grows vines and will attach itself to the structure. One other nice benefit is that vining cucumbers have higher yield than the bush variety. Now, I've already figured out I'm going to build my own trellis. I've already got my wire that I'm going to use. I've got my stakes I'm going to use to build a trellis for my cucumbers to run up and across, and they're going to be hanging down. instead of running on the ground. Trellis design. One of the first things to consider for your trellis is the actual shape or design you'd like it to have. If space allows, an arch or a frame may be a better option to make harvesting easier. And I understand after last year, I understand why you want a trellis. Trellis strength, take into consideration the materials your trellis will be built from to keep it from buckling or even possibly breaking under the weight of fully formed cucumbers. Because, cucumbers get heavy, y'all, when you get 15, 20 cucumbers on it. Perhaps something made with a solid wood frame. Use metal cattle fencing, and that's what I have. Or PVC pipe if you are constructing it yourself. I got my fencing right at Lowe's. They probably have it at Home Depot too, but I got mine at Lowe's. If you're going to build a frame or arch trellis or even purchasing one, keep in mind how high the final trellis will be. You don't want it to be so short that it stoop down to harvest mature cucumbers. Nor do you want it too tall that you need to get on a step ladder to reach the fruit. Now, here's something that's very important about cucumbers. Plant. One benefit to vertical gardening is you can plant cucumber plants a little closer together than the recommended spacing if you are using a trellis. You have to train the vines after plants start growing. They may need a little help to train them to grow up the trellis. When the vines get to be long enough, begin wrapping them gently around the trellis support. If necessary, gently tie the vines to the trellis or use plastic clips to prevent damaging the plant stems or restricting growth. You know what I did? I got people to save me the ties off of the bread. I had my friend say, "If you loaf bread, give me the tie off of it." And that's gonna be enough. Now let's do tomatoes. The right way to plant tomatoes and get plants up to 8 feet tall. My plants last year was over about 6 feet, a little taller than 6 feet. There is nothing quite like eating a beautiful ripe tomato fresh out of your own garden, and that is so true. If you're going to try your hand at growing tomato plants, you might as well do it right and get some smashing results. Here are a few tips to get the best plants possible. Plant them deeply. Plant tomatoes 2/3 of the plant underground. While this may sound counterintuitive, tomatoes are a bit different from most plants. When more of the plant is buried, more roots will sprout, making your plant stronger. Now, anyone have a question or comment? Don't wait for me to pause. Interrupt, because I don't want you to linger on with the question that you might remember to ask me later. Hello, Ms. Woodruff. Avoid overcrowding seedlings. Growing seedlings too close together can prevent growth and may cause more disease later on. Make sure you space your seedlings out so you get one plant per pot or cell. Pro tip, during the early growth process, snip weaker seedlings in favor of the bigger, stronger ones. And I understand that, because you got to realize they're going to take a lot of nutrition in the dirt to grow. So you don't want them too close. And the weak ones, just pull them up. Give strength to your other plants. Keep the tomatoes well fed. Give your tomatoes plenty of sunlight and lots of healthy soil. This means regular fertilization and about an inch of water per week. This should keep help you get bigger tomatoes too. Yeah, I had some tomatoes last year that was humongous. Ensure there's a breeze. Air circulation is vital in getting healthy, big plants. While you won't run into issues if you are growing your tomatoes outdoors, the problem may arise if your tomato pots indoors. To solve this, turn on a fan twice a day and run it for 5 to 10 minutes. Now, if you're planting in a pot, make sure your pot is large enough for your plants to root and grow. If your pot is too small, your plants are just going to grow to the size of the pot because they got to root. Offer them support. Once tomato plants large enough, if it isn't when initially planted, you need to add a stake or other forms of support to tie the plant to. See, I got a metal fence on one side, right where I park my tomatoes, and as they grew, I tied them to my fence. This tomatoes are heavy and can bring the plant down, so it needs a bit of extra support to stay upright. Okay, now here's what I got. I'm gonna show y'all something. Those of you that can see, this is one of my tomato stakes. See this? It's about 4 feet tall. And the rest of it I tied. And here's another. You can order dozens of these. I've got so many of these metal stakes covered in plastic. This too is 4 feet. I don't know how many of those I got because I bought a bunch of them last year. Use natural fertilizer. Try grinding up eggshells and coffee grounds and adding them to the soil of the plant. This keeps slugs away and make the soil more nutrient rich. For an added boost, you can also mix a raw egg in the bottom of the hole before you bury your tomato plant. Hello, are y'all listening? Are you listening? Keep them trimmed. Keep a close eye on your tomato plants. Remove dying fruit and leaves, and make sure the tops of your plants don't get too heavy. Tomatoes are a great plant for growing in containers or in the ground. And while you can grow tomatoes with relatively minimal maintenance, a little extra care will ensure that your crop is bigger and better. Y'all don't think yourself crazy because you see me out talking to my garden. Every morning when I water, I'm talking to my garden. That's my baby. Now, here's a problem that a lot of people have with houseplants. So I'm going to give you this, but it happens in your garden too, but more with houseplants. If your leaves yellow and wilt no matter what you do, here's what you need to know. This is for vegetables or flowers or anything. Sometimes too much of a good thing really is a bad thing. This is definitely true when it comes to overwatering your plants. Obviously, plants need water to survive, but some plants thrive on less water than others. While it may be tempting to give your plant a ton of drink, too much water is a leading cause of early plant death. You hear that? Remember I said you can drown them? The great thing about plants, however, is that they are excellent communicators. They show warning signs when they are not being treated properly. Let's discuss the warning signs of watering and what you can do to avoid it. Uh-oh, y'all. I hope y'all got y'all pencil and paper handy. I'm going to give you some stuff. Epsom salt is a natural mineral that was first discovered in Epsom, England. People typically use Epsom salt in the bathroom to relieve aches and pains or internally as a laxative. But it's also a garden additive that expert gardeners swear by. It can help you produce lush, healthy plants, flowers, and trees. Epsom salt, also known as magnesium sulfate, works well in the home garden because it gives fertilizer and soil a much needed boost of both magnesium and sulfate. The additional minerals enable plants to receive more nutrition from the soil they are in. This in turn increases the plant's output. Now let's talk about garden pests. Garden pests are the worst. You spend a significant amount of time planting something that you enjoy, and the next thing you know, it's ruined. Luckily, Epsom salt can help with this problem. Epsom salt won't make snails and slugs wither away like table salt, but it does irritate them. Wait a minute, I gotta find out where I was. Epsom salt works much like diatomaceous, diatomaceous, diatomaceous earth to keep unwanted pests at bay. The only caveat about using Epsom salt to deter pests is that it is water soluble, so you will need to continuously reapply it every 2 weeks. Don't do it a lot. I say every 2 weeks. Put some around your plant. It keeps leaves green. When plants don't get their recommended daily amount of magnesium, their leaves start turning yellow. To remedy this common occurrence, feed your plants Epsom salt. Try feeding your plants and table salt plant 1 tablespoon of mineral per per 12 inch of height 1 time a month. Annihilate pesky weeds. Only masochists like weeding their garden. To cut down on weeding time, incorporate Epsom salt into your garden maintenance schedule. You keep weeds by mixing a couple of cups of mineral with a gallon of vinegar and some liquid dish detergent. Put the mixture in a spray bottle and go to town on any weeds you see. Now, y'all understand what I'm going to tell you. In no time at all, the weeds will die. Be careful not to spray any of this powerful stuff on plants you want to keep, or they will die. Epsom salt will kill your plants if you spray them with content of water, detergent, and Epsom salt. So don't do that. Oh, it's my neighbor next door. Beautiful blooming roses. Oh God, I got the most beautiful rose bushes in the neighborhood. Roses are beautiful, but they can be tricky to grow. Epsom salt makes it a little easier. Adding Epsom salt to rose bushes encourages them to produce larger flowers with darker, deeper colors. To incorporate Epsom salt to your rose bushes diet, add it at the time of planting and when flowers are in bloom. Perky potted plants. Plants in containers grow magnesium deficient faster than in the ground plants. To remedy this issue, the site recommends adding 2 tablespoons of Epsom salt to surrounding soil once a month. Epsom salt, when added to the soil around plants, helps them absorb other nutrients more efficiently. In fact, most commercial fertilizers have large amounts of magnesium. By adding plain Epsom salt, you won't have to bother with so much fertilizer. Remember, I told you some things are right there in your house already. Almost every home has Epsom salt. Baking soda. Baking soda is a gardener's best friend, and here is why. This simple white powder can be a gardener's best friend, offering a wide range of benefits for plants and gardens alike. From pest control to soil amendments, baking soda has proven to be an invaluable ally for those with green thumbs. In this article, we will explore 10 reasons why baking soda is a greater best friend. I might not get to go through all of these, y'all. I got so much to cover. It's a fungus fighter. It's a pest repellent. It sweetens tomatoes. It's a weed killer. It's a soil amendment. Baking soda can help balance the pH balance of the soil. If your soil is too acidic, adding a small amount of baking soda can neutralize it and create a more favorable environment for plant growth. Now, disease prevention. Then I'll get into something else. Prevention is key when it comes to plant diseases. Baking soda has been found to prevent some common plant diseases, including black spot on roses and blight on tomatoes. Regularly spraying a baking soda solution on susceptible plants can help keep diseases at bay. You can spray your plants with baking soda and water, but you cannot do it with Epsom salt. Baking soda, you can spray your plants. It's a compost enhancer. It's a deodorizer. Unpleasant odors in the garden can be bothersome. Baking sodas act as a natural deodorizer and can help neutralize foul smells, whether it's from compost bins or pet areas. Sprinkle baking soda in these areas to eliminate odor effectively. Now, seed generation. Baking soda can improve seed germination rates by softening the seed coat. Soak the seeds in baking soda solution overnight before planting them. This can help break down barriers and promote successful germination. Yeah, hold on, my computer just blacked out. Any questions or any comments from anyone out there? Any questions or any comments? Compost enhancer, a cleaning tool, or deodorizer, or seed germination. Baking soda can improve seed germination rates by softening the seed coat. Soak the seeds in baking soda solution overnight. Oh, I said that. Now, here's what I like. Growing your own lettuce. It was so nice last year when I go out in the garden if I wanted a salad, pluck my lettuce, pluck my tomatoes, and I could even put kale, call it raw, and make me a nice salad. Grow your own lettuce is one of the easiest crops to grow. That is so true. Selecting lettuce varieties. Lettuce comes in various types, such as loose leaf, romaine, iceberg. I've got iceberg and romaine planted right now. Consider your personal preference and valuable space while selecting the lettuce varieties. Loose leaf varieties like salad bowl or Lola Rosa are ideal for container gardening due to their compact size, continuous leaf production. Yeah, you can see all you got to do is go out there and pluck the outer leaf that you want. Because now, like I use the iceberg lettuce because I like the head. I like mine the head, but you can still pluck the leaves on the outside, and you'll see the spot in the middle where it will start to head. Lettuce thrives in well-drained, fertile soil. Prepare a potting mix. Combine equal parts of compost, peat moss, and perlite or vermicide. This bin provides adequate moisture retention. Says fill the container with the potting mix, leaving about an inch of space below the rim. I told y'all I use Miracle-Gro garden soil. That's what it is. Go right to, and right now they got buy 3 get 3 at Lowe's. Miracle-Gro gardening soil. You can start lettuce from seeds or use transplants purchased from a nursery. See, I use a nursery. I always go to the nursery and get mine. If sowing seeds directly, sprinkle them evenly across the soil. Serve and lightly press them down. Cover the seeds with a thin layer of soil, approximately 1/4 of an inch deep. Water the container gently to settle the soil. Baby. That's almost the same thing, baby. Same thing. Okay. Thank you. Let somebody give me some information. Lettuce grows best in cooler temperatures, ideally between 45 degrees Fahrenheit and 75 degrees. Place it in a spot that receives a partial sunlight around 4 to 6 hours per day. If the weather becomes excessively hot, move the container to a shadowed location to prevent the lettuce from bolting. Now, something I got to tell you too about cabbage. About kale and collards. They don't require a lot of sunlight. So I've got mine planted where it doesn't get light till around 12 or 1 o'clock. Now my garden is in night all day, but I planted it where it's the last to get light. It's always a shadow. Harvesting lettuce. Harvesting can typically begin when the lettuce leaves reach a usable size, usually around 4 to 6 weeks after planting. That's a quick growing plant, 4 to 6 weeks. Harvest the outer leaves first, allowing the inner leaves to continue growing. Use a sharp scissors or a knife to cut the leaves off just above the soil level. Lettuce leaves can be harvested until the plant bolts or becomes bitter. You got to select the right variety. There are different types of spinach also. Spinach varieties are more heat tolerant, while others thrive in cooler conditions. Consider trying several types to determine which does best in your garden. Plant at the right time. Spinach is a cool season crop that should be planted early in the spring or in the fall for a winter harvest in milder climates. Sowing seeds every few weeks will ensure a continuous supply. When sowing seeds, space them about 2 to 3 inches apart, and then seedlings to 4 to 6 inches apart once they've reached about 2 inches in height. Water wisely. Implement succession planting. Manage pest diseases. Harvest regularly. Use the right tools. Store properly for longevity. After harvesting, wash the spinach leaves gently and dry them thoroughly. Store the leaves in airtight containers or bags in the refrigerator, crisper, to maintain freshness. Proper storage can extend the spinach shelf life and reduce waste. Now, I'm doing good. When to plant vegetables and why. Best plant in the late spring, May to June. Too early summer, June to July. After the last frost day, they need warm soil and sunny conditions to grow. Harvest when the tomatoes are fully ripe and have reached their desired size, usually in late summer, August or September, or early fall. And see, my tomatoes, I would pluck them and then they would reproduce. I would pull them after they got ripe and the plant would reproduce. Now I'm gonna plant something this year I hadn't planted before, onions. Onions are a versatile and wide-used vegetable that can be grown in various regions. They are typically planted early spring, March to April, really, or late summer, August to September. I'm gonna give me some onions, y'all. And prefer well-drained soil and full sun. Onions from bulbs underground and their green tops known as scallops or green onions, can be harvested at any stage of growth. For mature onions, they are ready to be harvested when the top starts to yellow and fall over. This occurs in late summer, August to September, or early fall. Once harvested, onions should be cured by drying them in a warm, dry, and well-ventilated area to promote the storage and improve their flavor. Onions are a staple ingredient in numerous cuisines, add flavor and depth to a wide range of dishes, making them an essential vegetable for both culinary enthusiasts and professional chefs. Peppers, also best planted in late spring, May to June, to early summer, June to July, after the last frost date. Peppers also need warm soil and full sun. Harvest when the peppers have turned their mature colors and have reached their desired size, usually in late summer, August to September, or early fall. Squash, summer squash such as zucchini, are best planted in late spring, May to June, to early summer, June to July. Winter squash such as pumpkin can be planted in late summer, July to August, for a fall harvest. Summer squash, when they are still young and tender, usually in hot to late summer, July to August. Harvest winter squash when the skin has hardened and can be easily punctured with a fingernail, usually in late fall, September to October. Carrots. Carrots may be planted in early spring, March to April, or late summer, August to September. When the soil is cool, they grow best in well-drained soil and fun soil. In full sun, harvest carrots when they have reached the desired size and color, usually around 60 to 80 days after planting, depending on the variety. For spring planted carrots, harvest in late spring to early summer, May to June. And for late summer planted carrots, harvest in late fall, October, November, or early winter. Cucumbers are a warm season crop and can be planted in late spring, May to June, after the last frost. They need full sun and well-drained soil to grow. Harvest cucumbers when they have reached the desired size and are still firm and green. This is usually 50 to 70 days after planting, depending on the variety. Harvest throughout the summer, June to August, until the vines have to decline. This thing did it again. Hold on, y'all. Lettuce. Lettuce can be planted in early spring. I did that. Radishes are a cool season crop and we plant in early spring, March to April. I gotta plant those. I'm gonna have to go get me some for this weekend. Or late summer, August to September. They grow best in cool soil and full sun. Harvest resin when the roots have reached the desired size and are firm and crisp. This is usually around 20 to 30 days after planting. Really? For spring planted radishes, harvest is late spring to early summer, May to June. And for late summer planted radishes, harvest in late summer, September, October, or early fall. Now, I love radishes. I am a radish junkie. Now, let me give you now beets. I don't know why I'm not a beets person, but I'm gonna give this to you. How much time I got? 15 minutes. Beets can be planted in early spring, March to April, or late August to September. When the soil is cool, they grow best in well-drained soil and full sun. Harvest beets when the roots have reached the desired size and are firm and tender. This is usually around 50 to 70 days after planting. For spring planted beets, harvest in late spring to early summer, May to June. And for late summer planted beets, harvest in late fall, October or November or early winter. Now, here's something that really surprised me. Hydrogen peroxide is a gardener's cure-all. As the world learns more about organic and sustainable gardening practices, gardeners are on a constant lookout for natural remedies and solutions for their garden woes. One such miracle solution that has been gaining popularity over the years is hydrogen peroxide. This simple compound, familiar to many as a first aid antiseptic, is also a versatile and environmentally friendly tool for garden management, disease and pest control, boosting plant growth, sanitizing garden tools and pots. Water treatment. In conclusion, hydrogen peroxide serves as a multi-purpose ally for any gardener looking to maintain a healthy and bountiful garden naturally, from combating pathogens to promoting stronger growth. This common household item is a garden cure for all that offers a plethora of benefits, making it a must-have in every gardener's toolkit. With appropriate usage and concentration levels, hydrogen peroxide can help gardeners achieve lush, productive plants without having to rely on synthetic chemicals that may harm the environment and beneficial insects. Now, for those of you that are going to do a raised garden, let me show you what I put down on over my grass. See this? It's like a net. You can It's like you can. It's like a screen. See that? See how you can see through that? I rolled this down on top of my grass. I lucked out, y'all. I really lucked out. I laid it down in my garden, and then I put a ton of clay dirt. Then I put a total of 80 some bags of in 2 years. I put 80. I put 42 the first year, 42 second year, and this is my third year. So I put the what is it? I said Miracle-Gro garden soil over. I didn't have not one weed in my garden last year, not one. This stops the weeds from growing in your garden. You put this down over the lawn, the grass where you want to have the garden, and then put your dirt on top. Now my dirt right now, I forgot to measure how tall it was. Daggone it. It's about a foot. It's more than a foot deep. Between a foot and 15 inches deep. Hello, Mr. Murray. I see. And I don't know if he's kinfolk or not. But garden, you're going to love it, y'all. You are going to truly, truly love it. Now, you need to go back and listen to these two shows I did. This one and the one I did the other day, and both of them entitled uh, gar, "Growing a Backyard Garden," and one is growing a backyard garden. The other is growing a backyard garden part 2. I covered a lot, y'all. Y'all don't realize I just taught you how to perfectly grow your garden. Like I said, I had no weeds. I was lucky. I didn't have to weed I never went my garden till my lettuce and kale was ready, or until my tomatoes were ready, and I could reach over my fence to pluck my cucumbers, and my peppers were right there, so I could reach right over my fence and pluck my peppers. I avoided anywhere getting close to my watermelons and close to my cantaloupes. I mean, I had a little path I could walk down to get anything out of my garden. Like I say, my garden is 7 feet by 24 feet. And I grew all that stuff in last year. And my cabbage, man, I couldn't believe how my cabbage did. because we were eating cabbage leaves a long time before they had it. I wouldn't mess with the middle because that's where the cabbage is going to head. That same thing with your lettuce. You can eat the plant, the leaves around the outside, and it's tender. Oh, is it tender? I cooked a big pot of cabbage, the leaves, and this gentleman freaked out. He had never had cabbage leaves that tasted. He said it's the freshest cabbage he's ever eaten. I mean, he sit there and went, "Oh, wow, eating my cabbage." Ain't that right, Mr. Brown? He was freaked out behind it. So I'm trying to tell you, there is a way to do all this. I just gave it to you. Now, if you want more information, just give me a call here at the Institute at 240-619-2019. 240-619-2019. And you can call me. You can email me at why come my mind went blank? TRTS.info1@gmail.com. The road to success, TRTS.info1, the number 1 @gmail.com. And I'll answer your questions. I'm a little knowledgeable about a garden. Boy, if y'all saw it freaked everybody with something. They could not believe how much I grew in my 7 by 24 foot space. And like I say, this summer I'm going to learn how to can because I want to can all my excess. I'm not giving them away this year. My bunch beans, gosh, y'all, I plucked almost a bushel off of 4 plants of bush beans. So this year I'm gonna plant 8 plants, and I know I'm gonna have a ton of string beans. My cucumbers, I'm gonna grow them different this year, so I'm gonna have 3 times as much cucumbers this year. I'm gonna plant regular tomatoes and dang, I forgot the name. What's them little tomatoes? Shoot, but I'm gonna plant those too. I'm planting potatoes, but I'm planting my potatoes in a 5-gallon bucket. You put not gravel, you put rocks in the bottom of it. Put holes in it first so it can drain. Put rocks in it, then put your soil so it'll drain. And then I'm planting I got my tomatoes already. I got eyes on them. I'm gonna plant them. Cover them, put a little straw on them, and when they come above the straw, I'm gonna just snip the little leaves off of it and let it grow. I'm gonna do the same thing with my radishes and my onions. I'm gonna plant my onions in cinder blocks. LA grandson, my grandson in New York just tuned it. Well, he just went online from off of calling in. Cause he's got a garden too, and him and I are going to talk. Him and I are going to have a little powwow. Let me see if I got anything up here. I don't think I have anything up here. No. Let me do this 240-619-2019. Yo, that was a quick hour, y'all. I ain't lying. That was a quick hour. That was a quick hour. Email, EMA. Oh, what did I just do? Okay, let me go back and do this, y'all. I'm putting stuff in the feed. TRT S dot info 1 at gmail.com. Email trjs.info1 gmail.com. Bam. There it is. Now y'all know that I need some financial support. I'm asking you to donate, if you can, at least $25. At least $25. And you can do it through Cash App at $W Murray. That's $WMURRY. $W Murray. Or you can go to PayPal.me/MM Institute. Am I right with that? PayPal.me/MM Institute. Or you can call me here at the Institute at 240-619-2019. Or email at trts.info1@gmail.com. I'm easy to reach, y'all. Easy to get in contact with. And if you really want to get into gardening, y'all give me a call. Lord, I love to talk gardening. I was giving a gentleman lessons today when I was at the Bitwitch table. And when we got a break, he came to me and I gave him some lessons today. Give me a call, grandson. I need to talk to you. Give me a call when I come off the air, or tomorrow when you get a chance. I need to talk to you. Well, y'all, that is all for this show. I hope I was able to help you. Oh, if you want to get this information that I just gave you, go to DIYEverywhere.com. DoItYourselfEverywhere.com. DIYEverywhere.com. That's where most of this material came from. I mean, this ain't even scratch the surface of what they got on there. They got for every kind of plant, how to do this, how that couldn't give you everything, y'all. It was too much. But DIY.everywhere.com to get all your gardening information. And if you go to Facebook and pull it up, you'll start getting notices and stuff. Thank you, grandson. Hope so. Call me tomorrow. You'll be getting stuff on there of other organizations giving you gardening tips. I get so many gardening tips from all these gardening people. And it's nice. I mean, I've learned so much. It's unbelievable. I've learned so much. Well, y'all, that's all. And like I always tell you, if you push me, I'll pull you. If you pull me, I'll push you. It's not going to matter whether I'm pushing or I'm pulling. We will get there together. I'm going to make you a winner. I'm going to make you successful. And I'm going to give you the truth and the fact of existence. Because they're undefeated since the beginning of time, billions of years. Truth and fact are undefeated. And the truth is, I love you. And the fact is, ain't nothing you can do about it. Until next time, y'all, God bless. And keep working on your road to success. Until next time, y'all, God bless.